Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Diaslayers, and in this video, we are going to discuss a vital topic that everybody has got to know, and that is hand cannon range, recoil, and a little bit of bloom before and after the Shadowkeep DLC. So what exactly do I mean by this? Well, my friends, we're going to look at a ton of popular hand cannons, and that includes the Austringer, that includes the Spare Rations, that includes the Killed Orchid, etc, etc. And those are just the legendary ones. But on top of this, we're also going to cover exotic ones, and that means every single exotic that was in the Forsaken DLC, or rather I should say Year 2. In association with this, we're doing this exact same thing, but this time around in the Shadowkeep DLC. And this includes looking at all their ranges pre and post, so that we can see exactly how much that these ranges were nerfed for all these weapons, and in correlation with this, looking at all these weapons' recoil directions, in particular the ones that are the 150 and 140 rate of fire hand cannons, so then we can really see as to how much of those two things change with Forsaken and now Shadowkeep. Lastly, I'm then taking this side-by-side comparison analysis one step further, so then you guys can get a sense of what all these weapons' blooms is like. And how we're going to show that is by a still frame of what they were before and after, by in particular looking at the weapons' reticles. By looking at a weapon's reticle via hip firing, this then tells us as to how concise or as to how accurate that first shot and then the consecutive shots after it are going to follow that same pattern. I'll really be showing this with specifically the last word, but now that you guys kind of got a sense as to exactly what we're going to cover, rather than me discussing all this and going step by step with you, instead, enjoy some very chill music, and then at the very end of the video, we'll then go over some conclusions that you guys have absolutely got to pay attention to, as this can make or break the difference between all these hand cannons. The only thing left to do is just to simply sit back, relax, eviscerate that notification button, and let's jump right into the video.
Crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words.
3 minutes left.
In the doorway.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. My love, it grows with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah. And when you're alone, do you say my name or you say her name? Yeah.
30 seconds
My
left.
love, it
You're
grows
leading.
with the memories like a symphony. And you and I, we got history, yeah.
Overtime.
Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep, and you and I, we got history. Yeah.
crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you
Alrighty, my friends, so there you have it, and now what I want to do is I want you to take away some key notes from this, or rather some main principles that are going to affect how all these hand cannons function. Number 1, their effective range in Shadowkeep has been reduced significantly, and not just now includes on the first shot, but it includes the consecutive shots, say 3 meters or 4 meters outside their optimal range. That damage falloff is drastic, and truly it's really bad. But despite that, what's a huge pro about this stuff is that these hand cannons are very consistent, and you can see that by number 1, the weapons bloom that you guys just saw from a couple seconds ago, and number 2, by how all these weapons via the 140s and 150 rate of fire hand cannons are now having a fantastic animation that allows them all to be that much more precise and that much more consistent. The key takeaway that I'm trying to get you guys to remember from all this stuff is that yes, Bungie did reduce the range on every single hand cannon in the entire game, but on the flip side of this, they made them all that much more consistent and allows us then to use them in the ranges in which they were intended to be used for. Is this a fair trade-off? Some of you may say yes, and some of you may say no, but no matter where you stay on the spectrum, you have to remember that what makes a weapon reliable is how consistent that really is. And for me, I can say that without a doubt in my mind that these hand cannons, in particular the 140s and the 150s, are much more consistent, and that then means that I'm going to be landing crit after crit after crit, getting those oh so juicy and oh so crispy headshots, making enemy guardians a little bit salty. Lastly, be sure to watch the newest, check the latest, and share, comment, like on social media because you are the greatest. That's pretty much all I've got for you as of right now, Diaslayers. As always, GG TNT.